for nearly $40 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $18 a month, a savings of nearly $300 a year.
Whether you need a $100,000 policy or a $10 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance. In a hurry? Don't worry. With SelectQuote, you can get up to $2 million in instant, affordable same-day coverage with no medical exam.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-940-7667. That's 1-800-940-7667. Or go to SelectQuote.com. That's 1-800-940-7667. Full details on example policies at SelectQuote.com/commercials.
Hey, Ronnie.
Yes.
Do you have your bags packed?
I do. I'm all ready to go to Milner.
We're going to Minot.
What's in Minot?
The Norse Hoos Fest. Thursday, September 28th and Friday, September 29th for all the fun and festivities. We're going to be there live doing our show.
Bring your campers, drive your motorhomes. Come join us for great food, side stage entertainment, and big shows.
It's a great festival, and we get to join the fun. The Coffee Club live at Norse Hoos Fest. Find out more at hoosfest.com. We're hitting the road.
Where's my Viking helmet?
This is Weather and Ag in Focus with Bridgette Readel, Justin Storm, and Dean Wysocki.
And welcome to Weather and Ag in Focus. Thanks for joining us on this Thursday afternoon, 105 right now. Meteorologist Justin Storm, Chief Meteorologist Dean Wysocki, Ag Director Bridgette Readel. We're live out here in the Morton Building. And there's the Screaming Goat. We're live out here at the Morton Building here at Big Iron. It's some number. Was it like 43 or something?
As far as the number of big irons?
Yeah, how many of these have we had?
This is number 43.
And how many is this for us?
You and I here together, this is number 2.
This is Big Iron 2?
Yeah, it's like we're just barely dating.
We're still trying to feel each other out, see if this is going to go anywhere.
If you say that again, I'm moving my chair further away.
And we hit our first brick road.
Perfect.
First argument. Come on, kids. You can get through it. You can get through it.
We'll figure
be
it.
okay.
We'll figure it out in the next segment here.
All right. And meanwhile, we have a guest
What's
with
wrong?
us today. So if all of you could please behave, we have a guest watching. So I would like to introduce from Intelligent Ag. This is Chris Lavik. Chris is a manager and a production specialist for Intelligent Ag. Now, for me, I remember Intelligent Ag, and I know that it's tied to AgCo. Chris, tell us a little bit about that relationship of who y'all are and what you're doing out here at Big Iron today.
Yeah, absolutely. So Intelligent Ag used to be a part of a company that we kind of like to describe as a company of companies, Appareo Systems. And as of June of last year, 22, AgCo took full ownership of Appareo Systems, in turn, Intelligent Ag. Intelligent Ag, the purpose there is to complement their precision ag portfolio. So AgCo also owns companies like JCA Technologies, Precision Planting, Header Solutions. So it's just a full environment of on-farm digital technology from AgCo.
And actual equipment. It's not just about digital from AgCo as well.
Yes, that's right, yeah.
So I got the chance to spend a little time sitting in a Fendt tractor this morning, and I felt that was very appropriate. I was doing it to wait out a rainstorm. I'll talk about that with you later, Justin Storm.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Which, okay, I take that back. Everybody listening is really glad that we had rain. You want it on your farm. It was just a little bit damp walking around the show this morning. How's that sound? Okay.
Keeps the dust down.
It does. And speaking of keeping the dust down, yesterday you were out at Grand Farm, Chris.
Yes.
So what's going on out there for you?
Big news.
All right, what do we got?
For Grand Farm and AgCo. So Grand Farm, just in the Castleton area, is recently announced, or yesterday announced that AgCo, its tenant partner, is going to be starting what we're going to call the Dakota Smart Farm. Okay, and what that is about 300 acres of production land that we are going to be demonstrating various technologies and practices, as well as upcoming ideas, and just mainly focused somewhat around automation and AI. And so the glory there is that you don't have to read about it as a consumer. You know, you can actually come out and visit us, do a tour. We'll feed you. We'll take you around the whole joint and show you what it's all about. Get your hands on it, get your eyes on it, and see what it really looks and feels like.
Okay, so if you think about that, any example of something that you already know you might want to be highlighting when folks come out to see you at Dakota Smart Farm?
Some talk. I mean, like drones, for example, would be a good one. Okay. Just based on some drone technology out there in a commercial setting, is you're looking at, working at one drone all day for 10 acres, maybe, or 30 acres. Sorry, that's not going to work out. So the idea there is to have a swarming technologies that some of us have seen through like the lighting packages and demonstrations. So something like
300
that.
of them together.
Yeah, well,
maybe not 300.
Maybe. That may be a bit to manage. I'm thinking maybe like 5.
That's a lot of FAA permits, you guys.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and the technology there is obviously just throughout the evolution of it it's getting better and it's getting less expensive. So it's becoming more realistic.
Okay.
And like I said before, it's like instead of reading about it and watching a video on it, let's get you out here and let's use it and see what it's all about and what it actually looks like and sounds like.
And Chris, what are some of the things that you're doing right now that kind of help farmers, and how does it translate into return on investment?
Yeah, so in terms of like intelligent ag, that's been a name in the game since 2011, and our flagship product is the Recon blockage monitor for air seeders. That's a well-known, that's a household name at this point. And
okay, so we got to describe this thing, because I always consider it like a stethoscope.
Yeah, exactly, that's what it is.
So the dump.
All right, right on.
That's a great way to explain it. So the sensor itself, the technology itself, is what can be described as mechanical. So there's not, for example, 400 yards of little wires running across your toolbar. We just use an auditory technology in gathering that, listening to these sensors as product flows through them, and giving you blockages, of course, partial blockages, and variances amongst your tool. Each section, how is it doing in comparison to the others? And that's just a way to protect your investment. As input costs go up and up, a guy wants to make sure that they're being targeted and put in the right spots, and we're here to help you to make sure that that's taking place.
What's a blockage?
Yeah, because we're talking about these things, but you may have people listening that are like, what actually gets blocked in a planter?
Yeah, absolutely. So a blockage would be an obstruction that, from an air seeder, we look at it from like the bin system, the cart, for example, that delivers product through primary lines that go to a distribution tower or manifold. Then those secondary lines that go down to the shanks or to the openers, that put the product in the ground, is where we're monitoring for blockages and, like I said, variances in product flow. So a blockage could be a chunk of dirt. A rock is quite common. One we see a lot is somebody has something in their shirt pocket, and then they bend over their seed tank, and then their cell phone or whatever falls into the tank, and then they find it later as a blockage.
Yep.
So you could kind of, as a more of a visualization, you're talking about these tubes running from one thing to another. Let's say the center hopper, whatever it has been you want to call it, it's kind of like the heart. And then the tubes are the veins, the arteries, and something gets stuck in there, kind of like having a heart attack. Nothing flows through the tube, right?
Yeah, I think you need to join our marketing team. That's pretty. That's
you're
pretty
ready.
good.
You got an opening?
If you only knew how many times I hire him out a week, this is fantastic.
That's a pretty good explanation. So I describe it as a stethoscope technology because it's listening. But it's also a pride issue amongst you and your neighbors. You don't want to have any spare spots in your field because you didn't put seed there for whatever reason.
Because especially by the highway, everybody drives by and says, excuse me, what'd you do there? And then they go to town and make fun of you.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Why does my neighbor's beans look better than mine?
Right.
Yep.
How come you have a blank spot in your field? And
I don't want
what'd
to
you
talk
do?
about it.
I don't want to talk
There's
about
more
it.
yield in crooked lines than straight ones, Bridgette.
I bet Chris will argue.
Yeah. And so in that technology, our next upcoming product for that line is actually for strip till machines, which in this area has gained some popularity and increasingly so. But in other parts like the I-states, southern parts of the nation, they've been strip tilling for a while, and they've been hurting for a monitoring system. And so we've taken that feedback from these customers and put it to the drawing board, and we should be releasing a strip till larger diameter hose acoustic blockage sensors next spring.
Excellent. There's actually a strip till planter up here. I did get to walk around that one a little bit yesterday.
Yep.
I feel like Dean's ears over there are perking up when they hear the word strip.
Wrong one. Chris, hey, Chris, going back to drone technology, what percentage, if you had to guess, would you say are farmers using drone technology now?
Oh, very minimal. Okay. There's a curve to all that, right? There's hype.
Yep.
There's
the hype.
Right after the hype, I should say there's the concept, then there's the hype, then there's the jump in hype, and then there's reality. We are still somewhat in the hype stage, right? It's still exciting to learn about and talk about as it becomes more affordable and easier to use, and regulations decline or change. Yeah. Not common at all. I mean, you're looking just right around $30,000 as an introductory price for one commercial size type of drone. So as time goes on and we can add more to like I said, a swarming pattern, or somebody does.
And people, it's comfortability. We're so used to ground sprayers or, what we do by air. And now there's that comfort level of being able to use drones more often. And that was one of the demonstration sites here at Big Iron was just the guys right outside our door here. They were doing some demos with their very large drones yesterday.
Yeah. I'd say they're very large.
They are large. That's got a wingspan bigger than us.
That's those Amazon delivery fleet right there.
And that's just going to improve. I have a number of farmers like on Twitter and Snapchat that send pictures of what they're doing all the time. And that level of comfortability is just continually growing.
Right. And speaking of comfortability, support is a big thing that makes people comfortable as well. So what can you tell me about the support work at Intelligent Ag, and how does that make a difference for your customers?
Well, I think that's half the sale myself. I mean, in any product in our lives, we want to be able to purchase from a company that stands by their name and their product, right? So, and more so in agriculture, a person typically will buy where they can get support. Okay, the price may be better somewhere else, but the support is here, and that's AGCO's slogan, is the farmer first. We're all farmer first. Yep. So we're all it's a farmer first mentality, and so if you buy a product from us, you know that you're going to get support from us, from myself or my team. And ideally we want to set our dealer network up to be that face-to-face, right?
Right.
Because we're global essentially, so we can't be everywhere, but we will set our dealers up to be the best possible outlet for us as they can, and then also following up with some customers and solving their issues when a dealer can't. And we're available for extended hours in the spring or during busier seasons, where we always make ourselves available, and we are easy to dispatch a product specialist to wherever I need to send somebody to get the job done.
So speaking of that service area and answering those questions for people, do you mind sticking around for just a little bit? There's some other questions I want to ask, and we need to take a break. But if we come back, I wanted to ask about the Intelligent Farm Store, like out in Castleton. And I just had a couple other things, with your announcement at Grand Farm. So would that be all right, Chris?
Absolutely.
Excellent. So folks, stick around. We will be right back.
Livestock is mixed with fats and feeders higher, hogs lower. For the American Ag Network, I'm Richard Risvet with this market update. The live cattle complex is back to trading positively and into triple digits. Still no substantial cash cattle trade has developed, and it's looking like the bulk of this week's business could even be delayed until tomorrow at this point, given that little interest has developed. Now, there is a single bid being offered in Nebraska at $290, but at this point, no feedlots are jumping at its appearance. Asking price in the south are noted at $183 plus and still are not fully established in the north. Beef net sales of 6,200 metric tons for 23 were down 48% from the previous week and 56% from the prior 4-week average. Three largest buyers were China, Mexico, and Japan. Box beef prices are mixed. Choice down 127 and select up 91 with a movement of 70 loads. Now, the feeder cattle complex is also trading triple digits higher this afternoon. All market participants seem to understand more clearly that the lack of profitability in the marketplace is going to keep producers from building back the cow herd as quickly as they did in 2015 and 16. Now, with the U.S. cow herd not expected to bounce back as quickly, fewer cows should continue to allow for stronger feed cattle prices so long as beef demand does remain strong. We'll get a look at the livestock numbers. This is the American Ag Network.
At Peterson Farm Seed, we like our agronomy as strong as our coffee. We never compromise on quality, and that means tens of thousands of replicated research plots across the region, and sharing our agronomy expertise with you. If you're that kind of farmer, we're your kind of seed company. Come tour our plant and plots in Prosper, North Dakota, and meet our crew. Or let us come to your field to talk all things agronomy. We'll bring the coffee. Our goal is to help you raise more bushels. Peterson Farm Seed, we're that kind of seed company.
The pets in our homes love us, from the moment they meet us until the day they leave us. Homeless animals would do the same if only they had the chance. Be an animal's hero and adopt. Turtle Mountain Animal Rescue has the perfect four-legged family member for you right now. Find yours at turtlemountainanimalrescue.org.
Let's get a look at the livestock numbers. Live cattle October up 250 at 185.65. December up 260 at 190.45. February up 267 at 195.05. And the April live cattle, they're up 257 at 198.72. Feeders September up 147 at 254.97. October up 277 at 261.82. Lean hogs October down 42 at 83.55. December down 80 at 75.55. And the February lean hogs, they're down 77 at 79.40. The Dow right now is up over 300 points. The dollar sits at 105.3, with crude oil trading up almost $2 at just over $90 a barrel. For the American Ag Network, I'm Richard Ristvet.
This is Weather and Ag in Focus with Bridgette Readel, Justin Storm, and Dean Wysocki.
And welcome back to Weather and Ag in Focus here on WDAY. Thank you for joining us directly from Big Iron. Justin and I are there. Dean's holding down the studio for us. Thank you ever so much. But meanwhile, we have a guest joining us today too, and that is Chris Lavig. Chris is with us from Intelligent Ag. And we've been doing a lot of quizzing of what's going on with Intelligent Ag. And one of the things that I wanted to ask was, tell me about the Intelligent Farm at Castleton. What's that?
Yeah, the Dakota Smart Farm. So like I said before, it's part of the Grand Farm, but it's not what the Grand Farm is. The Grand Farm is still its own entity, doing its own, working with other vendors and doing their own projects. But AGCO just being the anchor tenant there, we are going to be having 300 acres of the Dakota Smart Farm.
Oops, there we go. So for you, there are two separate entities there. That matters.
Yep.
But when I drive through Castleton, there's an Intelligent Farm storefront.
Well,
right?
That's Intelli-Ag.
Intelli-Ag.
Yep.
Oh, I see. So.
Or Intelli-Farms.
Intelli-Farms.
Yep.
Okay.
That's a dealership of some sort, I believe.
Okay, so that doesn't have anything to do with you guys.
No, sorry.
Okay, so I appreciate the fact that we know that there's a difference, because people are going to ask. They're going to say everything's all the same out of Castleton. But it's not.
No, it is not.
Okay,
no.
Good to know.
No, the Grand Farm itself is essentially a group of investors.
Yes.
Working in collaboration with the state of North Dakota.
Yes.
To bring forth these technologies to our region, not just North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota, and anybody that's willing to make the journey to visit is able to do so.
That's awesome. Okay, so with all the things that you do you want farmers to troubleshoot for you or send you ideas, or how do you decide what's the problem you have to fix when you're working on this stuff, Chris?
Absolutely. We want we are always looking for the next thing to come out with.
Okay.
The next problem to solve, if you will.
The 300 fleet drone.
The 300 fleet drone.
The 300 drones,
yep.
Fleet of them.
Okay.
Yep. That's a good one. We'll do that. Why stop at 300?
I like you now.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good point. Why only stop there?
Well, all right, there's plenty of problems to solve on the farm. So how do you choose which ones?
Oof.
I mean, where do you start and stop, right, Chris?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Wherever an individual needs to protect their investment,
okay,
to monitor their return of investment, that's where we step in.
Okay.
We want to hear from you. We want to know what your problems are on your farm. What's something you don't want to do, right? Because you don't. It's too painstaking, or what's something that you want to know more about. We're always looking for that feedback, that information.
So here at Big Iron, when folks are approaching you at your booth, what is the biggest question they're asking you about?
Pretty much the description of the product, how it works, and I guess a lot of what we're talking about at our booths, and not just Big Iron, but pretty much any trade show, is current customers will come to us and give us some praises, or, like I said, give us additional feedback. Hey, what if this did this? What if it did that?
Can you make my system do this thing for me?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
And you work on not just planters, but sprayers.
Yep, absolutely. We got our latest product that's saw a beta release this spring, is called Recon Spray Sense. And so what that is a nozzle-to-nozzle blockage monitor.
Okay.
It's retrofit. So you take your Wilger, your T-Jet, your Hypro nozzle body, that's standard flow. You take your diaphragm or your check valve cap off. You put our sensor on, put the cap back on the other side of our sensor, plug it all in, and that's CAN bus to a computing modem.
Okay.
That's also hidden somewhere on the piece of equipment. And then that creates a Wi-Fi network that broadcasts the information to an iPad in the cab.
How big is this little thing that you're talking about when you're saying you're screwing it out of the nozzle body, et cetera?
It's probably the size of a small, 2 inches long.
Okay.
Yep.
So this is not a huge piece of equipment that you're adding on as far as aftermarket. Okay.
No, you can spend half a day putting it on your 120-foot sprayer boom or whatever you have, and plug it all in, and you're in business. With Intelligent Ag, there's no subscriptions.
Okay.
It's you buy once, and we're not going to nickel and dime you after the sale. It's all yours.
Right. And what do you want people to know about how big an area Intelligent Ag will cover and what you're willing to do for help?
We are global. Of course, we started in this continent. Canada, I mean, is a big part of our business.
Yeah.
I mean, don't cast any shade on Canada. They got lots going on there. We've been in Australia for years, South Africa, New Zealand, South America, and just kind of opening more doors in Europe at this point.
Okay.
But yeah, global.
Things are happening just step by step.
Yep, absolutely. Yep.
Who do you think is your fastest growing market?
I think air seeders. We see a trend, and it's kind of our business model, is that as equipment prices go up and up and up, and you're getting closer to that $1 million mark on some of this stuff.
Yeah.
Why not rebuild what you got?
Okay.
Take your air seeder, take your sprayer, and let's add some technology to it so that you don't have to make that big jump. What you have, it's iron essentially from the get-go, so it's rebuildable. It's not throwaway. And then we got the tech for you to bring you up to speed.
Okay, this may sound like a silly question, but you have folks that farm that are also good mechanics. You have folks that farm that are not. Who puts the aftermarket stuff on, like the blockage monitors and stuff? Do you all come out and do that?
Everybody. Oh, our dealer network?
Yeah.
For the most part, we'll do the installs.
Okay, because I just realized that. I'm like, who puts this stuff on?
Yeah. Or a self-install. I mean, it's designed for, like you just said, the mechanically inclined and the non.
Okay.
It's simple, it's easy to use, and like I said, anybody can do it.
So I could put it on, and then Dean could call somebody to put it on for him.
Yes.
All right.
That would be.
Did you hear that, Dean? You're in luck.
Yeah.
Hey, Dean, if you were out here, you could go buy more tools because there's lots of tool guys, and then you could do all these installations all by yourself.
Hey, didn't you say you were going to buy me a new weed whacker today?
No. I told you to get it today because it'll be on sale.
Oh, that's what it was.
Everything's on sale.
I think you said you lost another bet.
Shocking. All right. Okay, so if Chris, for folks that are here, and do you want them to stop and see you at the booth? And if they miss you here, how are they going to go find y'all?
Yes, absolutely. Come visit us in the booth. We're in A29. And if you don't catch us here, obviously catch us on intelligentag.com. There, if you're interested in a product, you can find a dealer and talk to a dealer, or find a regional sales consultant through our website for your area, and they will help you find the best option.
So I shouldn't just tell them to stop by the office, knock on your door, ask for Chris. No. I got an idea.
Yeah. No. We actually have one of our dealers. Well, we have a couple of dealers here, but they're doing one of them's doing a show special, so 10% off of the kit price, which I don't think you'll beat that price any time at their time of the year.
We are all here for a show special.
I'm always good with a good deal.
I know. Should I get a coupon? I mean, that's how I shop. I'm way better at that kind of stuff, actually.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm hoping you've had a good couple days here out at Big Iron, Chris.
Oh, yes, as usual.
Good. Good. And do you guys do some of the big farm shows as well, the commodity classics and that type of thing?
Absolutely. We do them all, I think, and yep, we're
Are there
everywhere.
any other ones that are going on this year coming up? Is there like another show somewhere up here, or is this kind of like the last big one that's going on?
I think until we turn the calendar over
Right.
to next year, this area I think is about buttoned up for shows.
Getting pretty quiet.
Yep. There's a couple of regional ones, throughout, but
like currently Husker Harvest Days is going on at the same time as this show. But you're right. As we get into the new year, the big ones, Commodity Classic,
National Farm Machinery
Farm Machinery Show will be a big one.
Yep. Got the International Crop Expo in Grand Forks in early next
February.
February. Yep.
You have the Sugar Beet Expo in March. The North Dakota Ag Association does have a trade show here right after Thanksgiving, so there's a few things.
Yeah.
They're still coming up. People can find you at all of those.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Awesome.
Cool.
Not only that, we're always hiring. We're hiring career professionals, interns.
Idea maker over here.
Yep.
Or no, what was it? Marketing.
Marketing.
That's what it was.
Go to marketing.
Marketing.
I'm
Yeah.
hiring
you
you
might
out.
be able to
The
come
heart
up with a
attack.
new title for yourself, I bet.
Well, stop your planner from having a heart attack. See, there's your new slogan. We just got to throw a jingle behind it, and you're good to go.
It's perfect. I'm so glad you stopped to get all our insight, Chris. It's perfect.
Oh, yes, thank you.
Well, if you want to be a part of the conversation, a part of the show, you can always give us a call on the Red Wing Shoes phone line. That's 701-293-9000. Emails to the show, that's weather@flagfamily.com. You can also utilize that live comment box on YouTube or Facebook Live. And we're going to take a short moment here, come back. Got a few ag topics, as well as a check on the forecast and any questions that you may have. So stay tuned. Weather and Ag in Focus. We'll be right back.
Moorhead football is back on the road Friday for an encounter with Bemidji. This is Larry Knudsen for Spud Sports on 970 WDAY 93.1 FM. Up for grabs to the winner is one of the most unique prizes in all of sports, the Axe Hoe. The Axe honors the Lumberjacks. The Hoe honors the Spuds. 7 o'clock kickoff Friday, 970 WDAY 93.1 FM.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $40 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $18 a month, a savings of nearly $300 a year.
Whether you need a $100,000 policy or a $10 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance. In a hurry? Don't worry. With SelectQuote, you can get up to $2 million in instant, affordable same-day coverage with no medical exam.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-940-7667. That's 1-800-940-7667. Or go to SelectQuote.com. That's 1-800-940-7667. Full details on example policies at SelectQuote.com/commercial.
Pucklet Chevrolet Buick GMC in Valley City makes it easy to find your next Chevrolet Buick GMC or pre-owned vehicle by offering a great selection at our best prices possible.
Good afternoon, I'm Tom Tucker, WDAY News First. Several Minnesota law enforcement leaders are again asking for a special session of the legislature to clarify a law impacting the use of physical restraints by school resource officers. A state law passed earlier this year restricts the use of certain types of physical holds on students, including those that make it hard to breathe or communicate. Officers and staff at the Fargo Police Department continue their efforts aimed at restoring a sense of routine and normalcy following the deadly officer-involved shooting July 14th.
We've been spending a lot of time working with our folks and checking in with them and kind of transitioning them through this type of tragedy.
Zabolski says the tragedy has helped bring people closer together. A group representing some North Dakota families is filing a lawsuit against the state for newly passed legislation that impacts health care for transgender and non-binary children. The North Dakota chapter of Gender Justice says the law targets and criminalizes what they call life-saving gender medical services. And more areas of Minnesota are beginning to see leaves changing over to their fall colors. The latest fall color finder map from the State Department of Natural Resources shows several areas in northern Minnesota where the fall changeover is between 25 and 50%. Tom Tucker, WDAY, and WDAYRadioNow.com.
Attention all growers and ag retailers. Tired of losing the war against wild oats? It's time to bring in the big guns. Avadex and Fargo herbicides from Gowan, USA. These Group 15 herbicides are your ticket to controlling Group 1 and Group 2 resistant wild oats and suppressing brome and ryegrass. Don't let these weeds invade your field. Take charge. Contact your local ag retailer today and get your hands on Avadex and Fargo. Go. Always read and follow label directions from Gowan, USA.
Is your precious jewelry in need of some TLC? At Wimmers, we believe in love. Loving your old jewelry, that is, so you'll wear it every day. Perhaps you have an item that needs a little repair, an update to match your style, a ring that you'd like to convert to a pendant. Bring your beloved, well-worn jewelry to Wimmers and we'll assist you in reimagining an updated version or give it a brand new look. Fall in love with those special pieces all over again. Wimmers Diamonds. Repair, reimagine, restyle.
Hi, Teresa here, the owner of the Fargo Red Wing Shoe Store. I want to take a minute and thank you for shopping your local small businesses. By shopping at your local small businesses, you're investing in your community and helping create local jobs. As a small business owner, I am able to choose unique products just for you. I'm a friend, I'm your neighbor. Invest in your community and shop local. Thank you from the Red Wing Shoe Store. Red Wing Shoes for ultimate durability.
Weather and Ag in Focus on WDAY Radio.
And welcome to Weather and Ag in Focus. It's 1:36. I want to thank everybody for joining us this afternoon.
Hey, what other buttons you got over there?
He's got more.
He's got, well, you already hit that
It's his
button.
favorite one.
Yeah,
We're actually going to let him talk this segment.
I guess so.
We got kind of. Oh, there's my cow.
There we go.
Yeah, you guys kind of left me out there.
You got any?
We did. Sorry about that. But we kind of got all wrapped up in this.
I can see.
You know, Chris was just a good guest. We just had so many good questions to ask him.
We had a lot of things going on. And also, I forgot to mention earlier that our sponsors for Here We Grow, Irie Insurance. Thank you to all the work that they have done with us throughout this season, making sure that we are covered, whether it would be for hail damage or any other things that might be going on in our crop. And then also to Steffes Group. If you are looking to win the next Steffes auction, whether in person or online might happen, go to steffesgroup.com. I saw Max Steffes here yesterday. Got a chance to visit with him and say hello.
I think he was visiting with Jay for a little bit, too.
He was indeed. So we talked about, he says, what are the things we should discuss in the current market?
He sold Scotty's Comrex and all his gear for $175. I
could have got more.
Man, that's like a $3,600 depreciation real quick.
Oh, wow. Hey, guys, we haven't even talked about the weather today.
Do we need to?
Well, it kind of rained this morning.
No, we don't. Dean said no, we don't.
Okay, Dean, what is it?
Yeah, we had a little rain this morning, a line of showers passing through. That's now into Lakes Country, stretching from just east of Red Lake through about the DL and Perham area down towards Fergus. Again, nothing that heavy, and I think the rest of the afternoon should be okay. We'll might actually see a little sunshine by late afternoon into the evening hours, so should be pretty much dry from here on out. And we've got a pretty dry-looking forecast all the way through the upcoming weekend with temperatures right around the 70-degree mark. And then next week, Bridgette, so I know we hinted on this yesterday, but late next week, it looks like we have the potential of a more widespread rain event by the end of next week. Not great
so
news for harvest.
How much rain?
Boy, I mean, it's far out, but there's some indications we could get up to an inch.
Okay.
Oh, that throws some weight on the beets, though, wouldn't it?
It does. And, an inch of rain isn't all bad for a couple of reasons. One, ground is hard. So if we need to take beets out of the ground, it would soften it up a little bit. Same with being able to do some soil testing. I know there's quite a few crop consultants out there that wouldn't mind a little softer ground when they're putting the probes in. That'd be okay, too.
Yeah. And, Dean, we had an email question that came in from a listener who downloaded a radar app, the ones that we use, and she was wondering why there is constantly showers just west of Mayville on the radar. Do you want to explain what that is?
Yeah, that's ground clutter. That's what we call it. I don't know. They still call it ground clutter? That's what we used to call it back in the day.
Yeah, the ground clutter and attenuation. More ground clutter, honestly. But
yeah. So
those are. It's a wind farm.
Oh boy. Hold on, I got to find that one.
Yeah, good luck finding it. We'll be here all day.
Oh man, I'm telling
We'll
you.
give you a moment though. We'll see if you can fish it out.
Well, if you put everything in alphabetical order.
They're in
here.
order.
If you have a windmill anywhere near your house, congratulations. It's like a graveyard for birds.
There
and
you
they
go.
say the noise causes cancer. You told me that one.
I'm all good. I don't know that I need to hear any more discussion that you guys were just doing. Never mind me. I'm over here playing Wordle right now.
What's the word of the day then?
The word I use or the word that people want to use?
You know,
How's that?
why don't we try both and just see where it goes?
Well, I can't tell you my word because then everybody's going to use it.
Well, how about the word that Bridgette uses when we bring up, chemtrails?
That's not a word. That's a hand motion.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, do you guys want to talk about anything that's as far as ag headlines today?
Yeah. We got lots of ag headlines. We actually have ag headlines for like the whole week because we've been full of guests.
busy.
We haven't had time to ask any of them.
Which ones would you like to talk about? Anything from today?
Oh, why don't we go ahead in finding... Or no, let's get ahead of animal activists. What else? What do we got to know about getting ahead of them because they're out there?
Bridgette got a little bit of a rant in this morning on the
nice.
earlier
Well, I
morning.
hope you can get a longer rant in here.
Okay, so earlier this morning when I was on, I brought up the fact that right now, when we look at what's been happening with fundraising efforts by animal activists, and two of those big groups would be the American Society for Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, ASPC. So yes, cue the Sarah McLachlan. It may be a tearjerker, but for all the wrong reasons. The same with the HSUS, which is the Humane Society of the U.S. These folks have been fundraising like maniacs for the last couple of years, but not in a positive way. Folks may think that they are there to help you with your dogs and cats. No. ASPC is sitting on $200 million in investments, $12 million in Caribbean accounts. If you are a legitimate American charity, why do you need $12 million in an offshore Caribbean account? Answer that, please. Their CEO makes nearly $1 million, which is almost as much as Dean Wysocki makes.
Pretty close.
And they only give 2% of what they receive to local shelters.
Well, that's nice because not nice.
That's not nice.
That's not nice. Dean does 4%, which is more nice.
Really good. Now, the Humane Society, very similar, $138 million budget, $58 million in Caribbean accounts, and their CEO makes only $500,000 a year. They only give 1% of their dollars to shelters. So for folks who want to make sure that they help dogs and cats, number one, go to our local shelters and provide donations, whether cash, food, etc., right there to help them out. These organizations their goal is to eliminate large animal agriculture across the U.S. They are targeting feedlots. They want to absolutely disband feedlots by 2024. That's going to affect the amount of beef production that we can have across the U.S. They also want taxpayers to stop or to pay farmers to stop raising animals, which if that happens, kiss your pork chop goodbye. Feel free to start chomping on a cockroach. I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm higher on the food chain. I'd like the pork chop, please.
Sure, why not?
So, again, the support for these organizations is misguided because that's not what they're doing, and they are out to affect your food supply. And just remember this, when it comes to your food supply, that's also a part of national security. So I don't want to eat anything else. I also don't want to be limited in the amount of food that I can eat.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, I think it's important we all understand where this is going. So there's my rant.
I like the rant.
Okay.
And I'm going to go back. I'm going to pick a piece out of there. You said they were trying to disband feedlots by
2024.
Of course. That's
2040,
only,
excuse me.
2040. 2040. I was going to say that's a handful of months away. So where are they at on that agenda?
2040.
2040.
So there's a few more years involved there. But one of the things that they do is they go target state legislatures, and they bring all sorts of bills forward that they want you to sign off on when they are running discussions like on the street. They want you to sign a petition, and then they want to put all these emotional campaigns out there to you as voters. Well, if you aren't understanding what your vote could mean, you could easily start affecting your own food supply in a very negative way.
Right.
I don't want that.
No, not at all. And why don't we hit another one here quick before we gotta head to another update?
Yes.
Let's do the unrustled sheep.
I love how this is going. So this is a guy in Wyoming. Realized that he was missing a whole bunch of sheep to the tune of he is still currently missing about 32 ewes, but he was missing.
This is screaming aliens in my head right now.
No,
Dean, hit the UFO sounder.
No. Okay, but there were 48 others that have come back. This guy is also a brand inspector, so he's pretty good at counting his sheep. Didn't even fall asleep doing it, mind you. But all of a sudden, 48 of them returned. And he can see the tracks and the footprints where it happened. So he thinks that the social media campaign where he was talking about this, first of all, his post was shared 1,600 times. He thinks that made the rustlers nervous, and they brought his sheep back.
Wow.
So the sheep are returned. That doesn't happen very often.
Unexplained phenomenon. But when you see radar tracing...
See how long it took that?
I know. It's a good thing I talked for a while so Dean could find that sounder. So there you go. Yeah, livestock rustling is alive and well. Just didn't expect for them to be returned.
Yeah, not at all. And has there been any big, outside of that, have there been any big
concerns,
issues, especially down by, the U.S.-Mexico border?
I think if we were to look at the reports down there, I think that answer would probably be yes, that there are critters that go missing on a regular basis. If you don't ever go look at North Dakota Stockmen's Association's website and the State Brand Inspector's website, there's actually a running total of which animals are missing and where. You can report, I have 4 or 5 head missing.
Right.
Here's my brand, here's my location of the pasture, et cetera. So in case somebody finds them or they show up at a livestock sale or an auction barn, then they're not supposed to. You can report those as rustled animals.
And how big is this a big concern here in North Dakota, or is it not an overly big thing? It just sometimes happens, and maybe more of that is just them getting out.
So current price of cattle, it's a big concern because that's a lot of dollars that just walked away on a hoof. But the reality is sometimes they wander away. Right? We've had Max on from 701X where he talked about ear tagging them with an RFID tag so that you can always track where your critters go. Because what did you mention? One might be 30 feet in the air and you're wondering how it got there. Kind of thing.
Why is it 300 feet in the air and moving at 300 miles an hour?
Right. So, you always want to know where your livestock is. There's no doubt about that. But rustling still does happen. Oftentimes in small amounts, you only be missing 3, 4, 5 head, sometimes much larger, but it can happen.
Well, if you had that ear tag from 701X, you'd be able to see it shooting down 94 towards Minneapolis at 85 miles an hour.
That's exactly right. It's like that little Apple thing that's in my suitcase so I can find it when the airline can't.
You get a little ping on your phone, your bull's heading to Minneapolis, ETA 4 hours.
Please go meet them and bring them back. Also, he's hungry and ordered a bail. So, yes, just some of the things that happen in the livestock market today. Yes.
Well, why don't we take a moment here and we'll get recollected for our last segment.
Yes,
when we come back, we'll get a check on our forecast again, any questions you have, a couple more ag topics, and then we'll wrap things up here live from the Morton Building in Big Iron. If you're around, you're listening, you're at the fairgrounds, you can stop on by and say hi. We appreciate seeing and listening to our listeners, and we'll be back here in just a few moments to wrap up the show, so stay tuned.
News Talk Radio 970 WDAY. Hi, meteorologist Justin Storm. Every afternoon, my forecasts let you know how the afternoon weather is going to go and that all-important ride home from work. In all 4 seasons, that's the reason you listen. Weather changes fast, and I'll give you the current conditions as well as what the evening will look like so you can make decisions on the plans you've made. Don't forget Weather and Ag Radio every day at 1 p.m. right here on WDAY.
Hey everybody, Jay Thomas here. I'm sure you'll be shocked as I am, but I've got to tell you about the experience I had at Halberstadt's West Acres Mall. My wardrobe needs some help, and with a couple events coming up, it's time to find myself some new pieces. The staff at Halberstadt's West Acres Mall really knows what they're doing. I had a suit, shoes, and belt pulled together in no time. Snagged myself a few simple, stylish looks for the studio, and found an NDSU pullover for the season. Call me a shopping convert. Thanks to my experience at Halberstadt's. Check them out in the J.C. Penney's wing, West Acres. Great things, well, they come in threes. The Three Stooges, red, white, and blue. 3 French hens, the 3 bears, and now Bottle Barn Liquors. 3 convenient locations. So no matter what side of town you're on, shop Bottle Barn Liquors for the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits. Bottle Barn Liquors, South University Drive, West Fargo, and Bottle Barn off Broadway, 2nd Avenue North. 3 feet in the yard, 3-ring circus, 3-wheeler, 3 convenient locations. Bottle Barn Liquors.
To care for grieving families with the utmost compassion and professionalism while caring for loved ones with dignity and grace. That is our mission at West Funeral Home and Life Tribute Center. We believe it's the little things that make the difference. Serving the Red River Valley since 1916, West Funeral Home and Life Tribute Center. with locations in West Fargo and Castleton. Visit us online at westfuneralhome.com.
Embarrassed by ugly yellow toe fungus?
Living with toe fungus it's embarrassing. I was afraid to take my socks off. I hid my yellow and crumbly toes from everybody.
Introducing Crystal Flush. Crystal Flush is the only FDA-registered 2-in-1 home treatment that attacks your toe fungus from both the inside and out. Crystal Flush's new and different combination system knocks out toe fungus for good. Guaranteed.
Crystal Flush is different. After just a few weeks, my fungus was gone. 100% disappeared. Crystal Flush was the only thing that ever worked. So if you're skeptical because you tried a bunch of other stuff, Crystal Flush is different. This is a game changer.
Crystal Flush is now available without a prescription, but it is not available in stores. Get your risk-free supply today. Go to crystalflush.com. That's CRYSTAL flush.com. Stop being embarrassed by ugly yellow toenails. Go to crystalflush.com or call 800-204-4484.
We've got Brian in studio from Collins & Kronk Raymond James.
Brian, I was visiting with my girlfriend the other day, and she's just a few years from retirement. She was wondering if she can still retire if there's a recession just around the corner.
This is why planning is so important. When Collins & Kronk does a financial plan for you, we look at several different scenarios. We consider the positives or the good times, as well as the bad. What if there is a recession? We do the math so we can answer your questions with confidence. We want to help you make smart decisions like when to retire or what investments to use.
Whether it's a recession or an economic boom, Collins & Kronk can help you make the right decisions. If you have $500,000 or more, call Collins & Kronk in Fargo today, 701-235-0119, 701-235-0119. Securities are offered through Raymond James Financial Services, Inc., member FINRA SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Raymond James Financial Services Advisors, Inc. Collins & Kronk is not a registered broker-dealer and is independent of Raymond James Financial Services.
This is Weather and Ag in Focus with Bridgette Readel, Justin Storm, and Dean Wysocki.
And welcome back to Weather and Ag in Focus. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. You guys are terrible. It's 151.
Did you think we were frozen?
68. Well, the equipment usually does, the video was freezing up a little bit earlier, so I didn't know if you guys
We're not freezing at 68 degrees.
Yeah, it is nice.
Yeah,
outside.
Dean can see us, and we can't actually see Dean, so that just creates more chaos than usual.
That's a good thing.
Yeah. Well, if I look way over there, I can see you, but hi, buddy. Hi. If you're watching the live stream on Facebook, YouTube, or Acres TV, you can join in on the shenanigans.
That's exactly right.
By the way, that restaurant rocks.
And they could call us.
Yeah, 701-293-9000.
Red Wing Shoe phone line. I'm wearing mine.
Hey, you want to do something fun, right off the wall, crazy, spontaneous?
What you got?
You want to give away a rain gauge?
Dean?
Dean, what do you want to do?
We could do that. You guys want to give it away down there? Is there...
Yeah, well, of course we can do it. Do you want to? No.
How do you want to do it? You want trivia? Let's do it.
Well, I mean, we could do trivia or caller or...
Do caller. We're in the last segment.
We are in the last segment. Let's do that. Dean, what caller?
Let's put Jacob to work. Let's do caller number
970, like our AM frequency.
Yeah, we'll be here for a while. Let's do caller number 4 for one of our...
They're dialing
That's
away.
work?
That's not work.
Yeah.
It's not the hand signals we were giving him. 4. Caller 4 at 701.
Caller 1, Dean. Caller 1.
Okay. So, and these are rain gauges from Productive Alternatives. These are great. Now, Jacob, there's one gentleman that can't... Yeah, again, you can't have won anything over the last 30 days.
Right, and here's the rain gauge. I'm holding it up on the live stream. They're super nice. Productive Alternatives in Fergus Falls.
Yep.
They are the folks that make these for us. We thank them. These are like official Weather Service rain gauges, and if you receive one,
super duty.
We need you to make sure you tell us when you get rainfall amounts in your rain gauge.
And where you got the rainfall at.
Yes.
Oh, hey, Jacob knows the person who can't win, right?
I believe he does.
No.
I can't win.
No,
yeah.
There's one individual.
We'll talk about it off air.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. I know it's
We'll
me.
just leave it at a yeah.
Wish you two would stop talking about me like this. I'm right here. Anyway, we said caller 4, 701-293-9000, Red Wing Shoe phone line.
Yeah, why don't we throw them on, too, once we get to 4? Do we have? I'm sure every time we give something away on here.
Yeah, Jacob, Jacob's getting the info right now, so let's get our winner on the air.
Phone lines light up real quick.
Perfect. Let's do it. We're just waiting for that individual. Is it going to rain again tonight?
Let's do a quick recap of the weather. We've got some showers on radar right now, stretching from just east of Red Lake through about DL and Fergus areas. Those are pressing eastward.
I'm going that way tonight, Dean.
Are you?
Of course you
are. You'll see more developing. I know, right? You'll see more developing as we head into the afternoon or into the evening into Lakes country as a cold front pushes through. There's also a secondary little boundary in the far northern valley that is slowly moving southeastward. I don't want to totally take the rain out of the forecast for this evening, but it looks pretty dry for most of us. So if you have any evening plans, I know last night a cruise night tonight, and with that being said, I think most of that should be dry. Can't rule out an isolated, maybe 10% chance of a pop-up shower, but
for everybody who is going to be along my route to Clarissa, Minnesota tonight, where I speak to the Todd County Farm Bureau.
I dated a girl in college named Clarissa, Minnesota.
But I doubt it was Clarissa, Minnesota.
Yeah, no, that was her.
Fine.
Yeah, that was
but
for
for all those along my route, watch out, because here comes the storm. It's going to be me.
And we do have our winner. He had to get to work, but Aaron looks like Belka. So congratulations, Aaron. You were caller number 4. You win that
Aaron
rain gauge.
didn't want to talk to us.
No, but Aaron, you do have to report when you do get some rainfall.
Took the cookies and ran.
Gotta let us know.
Those are my cookies on that bucket.
Yeah.
Hey,
the
Dean,
cookies are good.
We forgot to tell you, Dean, we've been having a bucket of cookies here, and you didn't get to come out and get them today.
No, hey, I'm telling you, I got to watch my weight.
We got all the good stuff.
What kind of cookies?
You hear that?
The good cookies.
That's $87 worth of cookies.
And they were warm when I got them.
Oh, God, they're so good.
Wonderful.
Well, I'd say we go over there and hit up and get one of those Phillies next.
I had one for lunch.
Try the ribeye steak sandwich. That looked good.
I really want to get.
Okay,
I want to get
that.
either a Philly, the ribeye steak, throwing pens, or cheese curds. I have to get a pair of cheese curds before I'm out of here.
You should just have them all. One of everything.
Why not?
Because we can.
I can pack it all in.
Okay. Hey, last thing as far as as far as ag headlines. That's right, because I do the ag around here.
We do ag on this show?
Goodness, it's hard to remember some days. And so Justin wanted to know about the robot that's going to be in the sugar beets.
The robot weed picker.
It is. So this is a little project that's going on between KWS Seeds and Aegon. They are an AI-driven robotics company. They're actually doing it out at Grand Farm. So if you were listening to our first guest today, Chris, he was talking about the fact that out at Grand Farm, they're going to be working as the Dakota Smart Farm, those two separate entities working out there in conjunction. But KWS is bringing this robotic weed picker out there. They are looking at having an entire fleet of them that can identify and remove weeds. What's a little bit different about some of the other robotic weed pickers that might be going on, this will be in sugar beets. Most other ones are in corn and soybeans. The weed spectrum is slightly different as well. And we know that hand labor is really increasing when we start to look in the sugar beet realm, because we know that some of our herbicides are not working in the same way that they used to. So we've seen an uptick in hand labor. This robot could help us to break that down and not have to do quite as much as what we've been doing. So they're working on that little system out there. We'll get a chance to see that probably later next spring. That'd be all right.
And we got tomorrow's Friday. We got a Here We Grow video coming out tomorrow.
We do indeed.
Without telling people what you're doing, do you want to tell people what you're doing?
Nothing. I was in the field.
All right.
Looking for my pig.
Looking for your pig out in the field. Episode 21 coming out tomorrow. Should be out probably by about noon, I would imagine. So go over and check out the Facebook page. The YouTube page is where we have most of our content uploaded at, as well as every single live interview we've done. And we're still making shorts from our previous ones with all the ag topics, and we usually upload pretty regularly.
You brought the guest for tomorrow.
I did, yeah. We got the largest pumpkin guy is
largest
coming
pumpkin
in tomorrow.
Grower. Join us.
Right out of good old Anoka, Minnesota.
Yes. So looking forward to the pumpkins.
That's going to be a fun conversation. I'll tell you what. This is the end of the show. Everyone have a great rest of your day.
Thanks.
We'll be back tomorrow, 1 to 2.
Saracet